and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NHL Opinions of the Week. We're going to be going over the top 10 second-round performances. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the OT thriller, Austin.
Yeah, this is coming after a great two overtimes that happened in both of the games. Both games were overtime games.
One was not great. Let's just say that.
Well, both games were great in the sense that they were close, and then this is the first time since 2017 that both games of the conference final, East and West, the first game for both, went to overtime. But unfortunately for you, the Stars did not pull that out. But we're looking back on the second round, and these are our top 10 performers.
Yeah, so I'll just say my top 10 is Sebastian Aho. I think he's been a key player for the Hurricanes, and I remember him being an acquisition a few years ago, and it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, Aho had a great second round. Obviously, they won at 5. Aho does more than just points, and he's a good plus-minus guy, and I was very impressed by a lot of what he could do out there. My number 10 is a Hurricane. We're still on the same team. A guy who had a plus 12 rating in the second round, Jacob Slavin. Or Slavin. I believe it's Slavin or Slavin. He's a defenseman for the Hurricanes and a plus 12 rating in the second round. That is... I don't know how to put that into words.
Well, you did pretty much my number 9, and that's Jacob Slavin. As I saw the plus minus, I was like, well, he's got to be in my top 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not, or good for this guy, we're not doing a not top 10. Dougie Hamilton was minus 10.
Ooh,
so,
dang.
Luckily for him, we were not doing that. My number 9 is Leon Draisaitl. He had 6 goals in 6 games. That's very impressive. He only had 7 points, though, in the 6 games. And from Draisaitl, we expect more, but 6 goals in 6 games is still outstanding.
Oh, yeah. He was incredible. He's not on my list, but it was definitely a tough one to keep off. So my number 8 is Jack Eichel. I've been hearing a lot. There's not a lot in the stats for him, except I believe points he's pretty high.
Yeah. He had 9 points in 6 games in the second round. So
yeah, he's been really good, and that's a key. I think he's a key contributor on the Golden Knights.
Yeah, that's understandable. My number 8 is Jordan Eberle. Unfortunately for the Kraken, their first playoff run ended in the second round. Eberle played well, though. He was plus 7 in a series with 8 points, and he definitely was scary every time he was on the ice.
Yeah, he was very good. He was close to being in my top 10. My next player is Matthew Tkachuk, who is just after Draisaitl in points, but to me, he started to really come on into this series. After the first round, he was just kind of there.
Yeah, Tkachuk had some good games in both of these series. The only issue is that Tkachuk didn't score any goals, which is why he kept off of mine. But he did have 5 points in 5 games, which is still impressive. My number 7 is Jonathan Marchessault. He is a player, obviously, for the Vegas Golden Knights. He had a great series against Edmonton, and I was very impressed. Plus minus of 7. He had 8 points in 6 games, 5 goals, 3 assists, 2 game-winning goals. So he was a catalyst for a team that needed him.
Yeah, I really thought about putting him on the list, but I just couldn't find a room. My next guy is Bobrovsky. I think he's been incredible. If you look at goaltending Number 1 is Jack Campbell, and then Frederick Anderson. But then you look at Bobrovsky, who's played the most games, and you have Aiden Hill, but he's played 11 games. The only guy above him is Schmidt, who's at 9. But Bobrovsky at 11, and he has the highest or lowest goal percentage with the higher game amount. So I think he's been a really good goaltender who's just been playing out of his mind.
My first goalie is also mentioned, Aiden Hill, a guy that really saved Vegas after an injury in the second round to their starter Logan Brossoit, and he was amazing. He played a lot of big minutes against a scary Oiler team that can put a lot of goals up quickly, but he really shut them down. He had a .934 save percentage in 5 games played of the 6 games, so he was definitely a force.
Yeah, he was a force. My next guy is, I had to have a Dallas Star on here, Rupe Hintz. I almost left him off, but he was close. He was top 3 in points behind McDavid and Draisaitl, and he was just incredible on that line. But there were some other great players on that line. But he's just really showing the people that outside of Dallas just how good he can be.
Yeah, definitely. My number 5 is Jack Eichel, 9 points with a +9. He was amazing. 3 goals, 6 assists in 6 games. He was a big reason why they could overcome a great foe in the Oilers. He was amazing, and you already touched on a lot of the other reasons.
Yeah. The next guy I have 4 is Yanni Gourde. I thought he was incredible for the Seattle Kraken. I think he was the only one. He was one of the ones that would help win faceoffs, or does he not take faceoffs?
He takes faceoffs, I believe.
So I believe he was given a tough time, and he just was really bothering a lot of Dallas Stars players. So I had to have him on this list.
My number 4 is Jordan Martinook. He plays for the Hurricanes, and man, did he play. He had a great series and really shut down everything that needed to happen for the Devils to win. He was just outstanding this series. I was really surprised because Martinook's not someone that really gets all that many points, but he had 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points with a +5. He just 6 even strength assists. He wasn't getting many. He had 0 power play points in this series. He had 1 shorthanded goal, 1 shorthanded assist, 2 even strength goals, 6 even strength assists. What a series from Jordan Martinook. 10 points, like I said. That's just remarkable.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible. And now I regret not having him on my list. But now my number 3, this guy was the points when the second series, second round ended. Even though he didn't advance, I had to have Connor McDavid in the top 3. I don't think I need to explain much outside of McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid had 10 points this series as well. He's my 3 for many other reasons. He was one of the few guys that was not a negative on the Oilers. They were -40 as a team, but Connor, just 0. 5 goals, 5 assists. That's just a really impressive line. He had a shorthanded goal, 3 power play goals, an even strength goal. He could do it all, and I was really impressed by one of the best players in the sport.
Yeah. So my number 2 is Joe Pavelski. He really announced his return in Game 1 with a 4-goal effort that tied the entire Seattle Kraken team. Even though they couldn't pull it off, Joe Pavelski was incredible, and he tied Ovechkin in most playoff goals.
For active players, yes.
For active players, okay.
My number 2 is Sergei Bobrovsky. What a second round performance. This is the first series that he started every game, and you really wonder why they haven't been doing this in the entire playoffs. A .943 save percentage. He shut him down. He shut down Toronto, and Toronto is now going to have to completely tear down that team because of what Bobrovsky did against them.
Yeah, okay. I'm very curious who your number 1 is. Mine is Miro Heiskanen. This guy was incredible, and you could just tell how much the Stars use him by just how much time he's on the ice, which is incredible. He still plays a high level. And what happened in Game 3 once he got knocked in the face and was out for that game.
Yeah, he he's not on my list.
What?
He played really well, Kevin, but I just the -3 plus minus really turned me off. He was a net -3. Now that's very impressive that he played as many minutes as he did. But you knew I couldn't leave my guy off. It's
Okay. Yeah, I
it's
was
not
like,
something
where's
that
Miro? If I'm assuming Joe Pavelski has to be high.
Joe Pavelski's my one. Yeah, he tied the most goals ever for a 38 or 35-year-old or higher. Or I think it's 38-year-old or higher in an entire playoff run. And he did that all in one series. He now has the most goals in Stars history in one series with 8, most in Stars or most goals in history for a player 35 or older. I believe he's the oldest player in NHL history to score 4 goals in a game. He had 8 goals in 7 games. I don't know what to say, especially for a guy that is 38. 9 points in 7 games, 8 of which are goals. He had 5 even strength goals, 3 power play, a 42.1 shot percentage, and a lot of the Stars were a net negative as a team, -11 in the series. Pavelski +1. It's not great, but it's not Ryan Suter at -5. And again, Heiskanen had a great series. Like, they need him to win games, but I don't think he played necessarily his best series of his career, and part of that's because he got a puck in the face. So
Yeah.
that's just how things work out.
Yeah, to me, Miro's just like he's incredibly high on the points, and he's really keeping that blue line up, and it's still not good just because that's just one of the things that I've talked about this year is just I don't trust that defense, but when Miro's on. But okay, yeah, Joe Pavelski, not a bad one. He is my number 2, so that's all we got. I'm very curious on how these players perform and players that I missed, because it was just a lot to juggle for the games. But now we just have one on each night.
Yep. Not much time left. We'll blink and it'll be the Stanley Cup final.
Oh yeah, and we'll have to see, and we'll keep you all updated. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.